announcement of zero tolerance towards child marriage in Assam, Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma gave this information. So far, more than 2,000 people have been arrested in this case. Startups will no longer be charged with angel tax. Announcement made in the budget. This step was taken to prevent black money and money laundering. Google launches its chatbot, Bard, will compete with Microsoft's ChatGPT, will answer after getting information from the internet. Another Earth-like planet discovered named Wolf 1069b. A part of it is always in the light. And China's spy balloon found in America. Flight of planes had to be stopped. America's Antony Blinken's visit to China was also postponed. Recently, Assam Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma has announced a zero-tolerance policy towards child marriage. Under this, more than 2,000 men have been arrested while taking action on child marriage. This action has been taken under the POCSO Act and Prohibition of Child Marriage Act. The police have been registering cases of child marriages in the last 7 years against people who have married girls below 14 years of age and girls between 14 and 18 years of age. Let us tell you that the full name of POCSO is Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act of 2012. This act was brought to provide protection to children from sexual crimes, sexual harassment, and pornography. The act defines child as a person below the age of 18 years. It ensures the physical, emotional, intellectual, and social development of the child. Similarly, Child Marriage Prohibition Act was implemented in the year 2006. Its purpose is to prevent child marriage in the society. This act classifies the marriage of a man below the age of 21 years or a woman below the age of 18 years as child marriage. Child marriage is considered a punishable offence in this. Under this, there is a provision of 2 years of rigorous imprisonment or a fine of up to Rs 1 lakh or both. Offences committed under this act shall be cognizable and non-bailable. Recently, Indian startups have expressed concerns about the provision in the context of angel tax proposed in the budget. According to them, the government has tightened the rules for foreign investment in startups. This has been done at a time when startups are facing difficulties in raising funds. Therefore, the provision can adversely affect the investment they get. Actually, in this budget, the angel tax provision have been extended to transactions involving foreign investors as well. So far, these provisions were applicable only to domestic investors, but to prevent black money and money laundering. It has been extended to foreign investors as well. Now, unlisted startups offering their share to foreign investors may have to pay angel tax. So, startups say the move could adversely impact the funding available to them. However, in this case, the government says that this provision will not apply to startup registered with DPIIT, that is, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. This provision will be applicable only to unregistered startups or companies. Thus, registered startups are exempted from angel tax in case of foreign investment. Let's tell you that the startup companies raise funds to grow their businesses. For this, shares are issued to a company or institution that provides funds, but in most of the cases, these shares are issued at a much higher price than the fair price. That is, the price of these shares is more than the fair value. In this way, the additional amount received from the sale of shares is considered as income of the startup, and the tax imposed on this income is called angel tax. Angel tax was introduced in India in the budget of the year 2012. Significantly, the person or organization that invests in a startup company is called an angel investor. These investors are usually entrepreneurs. These angel investors may be the friends or relatives of the person starting the company. A new type of ice has been created by a research team from University College London and the University of Cambridge. Through this new discovery, scientists can throw light on the behavior of water under different conditions. After research, it is being said that such ice can also be present on many moons present in our solar system. Scientists made this ice using a process called ball milling. They mixed different types of ice at minus 200 degrees Celsius, resulting in the formation of this new type of ice of medium density and indefinite shape. The interesting thing here is that newly formed snow looks like a white powder, whereas normal snow is like crystal. Another difference is that in normal ice, the hydrogen and oxygen molecules present in water are linked in an orderly manner, whereas in this, the water molecules are disordered like water even when ice is formed. Significantly, ice is frozen water consisting of 2 molecules of hydrogen and 1 molecule of oxygen. Also, water is a versatile molecular building block which can form many different structures depending on temperature and pressure. Under pressure, these molecules pack more efficiently. That's why there are so many different forms of ice. Let us tell you that the ball milling process is used in most industries for grinding or mixing materials. During this process, high pressure is generated by collision between small, rigid balls in a container. Ceramic flint pebbles and stainless steel balls are commonly used in this technique. Recently, Google CEO Sundar Pichai has told that Google will soon launch its chatbot. According to Pichai, this chatbot will be based on artificial intelligence. Google has named it Bard. Significantly, Bard means a poet or singer who is skilled in composing and reciting verses on the lives of heroes. For example, William Shakespeare is also known as the Bard of Avon. Let us tell you that Google's chatbot, that is Bard, is a conventional tool. It's a computer program which has been specifically designed to simulate conversations with internet users. Currently, it has been designed for experimental purpose and for getting users' feedback. Later, it will be launched on wide scale. Although Bard will work exactly like ChatGPT, there are quite a few differences between the two. While ChatGPT is powered by the large language model, the Bard will be equipped with Lambda, that is, language model for dialogue application. Bard will combine the power, intelligence, and creativity of the large language model tool. Lambda is a machine learning language model that was created by Google as a chatbot. According to Google, Bard will provide answers by pulling information from the internet, while ChatGPT, built by OpenAI, answers questions based on pre-existing data. In this case, ChatGPT only has data up to 2021. In such a situation, Google's Bard is being seen by experts as a tough competitor of ChatGPT. It is noteworthy that Google had earlier also announced a partnership and investment with an AI startup, Anthropic. Anthropic also has an AI chatbot named Claude. Recently, the World Health Organization has released a global report on neglected tropical diseases, that is, Neglected Tropical Diseases 2023. It states that neglected tropical diseases are affecting the poorest populations of the international community. As per the report, 16 countries account for about 80% of the global neglected tropical disease. Along with this, an estimate of the need for treatment of this disease has also been expressed for about 1.6 billion people globally. The report expresses apprehensions that due to COVID-19, 34% fewer people received treatment for diseases related to it between the years 2019 and 2020. The WHO has emphasized on removing delay in the treatment of diseases related to it. The roadmap for elimination of these diseases by the year 2030 has emphasized the need for greater efforts and investments to accelerate progress towards the goals. Along with this, to achieve these goals, the global community has also been urged for multi-sectoral cooperation and partnership. Neglected tropical diseases are a group of infectious diseases that are common in marginal communities in developing regions of Africa, Asia, and the Americas. It is caused by various viruses, bacteria, protozoa, and parasitic insect-type pathogens. Significantly, one of the main reasons behind the spread of this disease in tropical areas is the lack of access of clean water or safe methods of disposal of human waste. Snake bite poisoning, scabies, trachoma, leishmaniasis, and Chagas disease are some examples of neglected tropical disease. Let us tell you that World Neglected Tropical Disease Day is celebrated every year on January 30th, which was announced in 2021. Recently, the farewell ceremony of the NASA-ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar, that is NISAR satellite, was organized. It was held at NASA's JPL, that is Jet Propulsion Laboratory. ISRO Chairman S. Somnath attended the ceremony. Actually, now NASA is going to hand over the satellite to ISRO, which is expected to reach India by the end of this month. According to ISRO Chairman S. Somnath, NISAR will be a powerful demonstration of the potential of radar in satellite science. It will also help in studying the dynamic layers and ice surfaces of the Earth in greater detail than ever before. NISAR is jointly developed by NASA and ISRO. For this, an agreement was signed between India and America in the year 2014. Its full name is NASA-ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar. It is an Earth observation satellite. The weight of it is 2800 kg. It consists of L-band and S-band synthetic aperture radar instrument. Another instrument on this satellite is its 39-foot fixed antenna reflector. It will be used to focus the emitted and received radar signals. Significantly, the data obtained from NISAR can help people on a global scale to better manage natural resources and hazards. At the same time, it will help scientists in understanding the effects of climate change and how to solve them better. In the years to come, data from this mission will help develop a better understanding of the Earth's crust and the consequences of changes on the land surface. Recently, astronomers have found an Earth-like planet. It has been named Wolf 1069b. Let us tell you that scientist Diana Kosakovsky led a group of astronomers who discovered it. The discovery has also been published in the journal Astronomy and Astrophysics. Wolf 1069b is orbiting a red dwarf star. According to the study, despite the proximity to the Sun, Wolf 1069b receives only about 65% of the solar radiation that Earth receives from the Sun. Wolf 1069b is linked to its parent star, which means that one side of it is always in daylight and the opposite side is always in darkness. The interesting thing about this planet is that its distance from the Earth is equal to 1/15th of the distance between Sun and the Earth. The point to note here is that how a celestial body is recognized as a planet. In this context, the International Astronomical Union has given a new definition in the year 2006. The condition for considering a celestial body as a planet is that it revolves around the Sun in its fixed orbit, has sufficient mass, and doesn't encroach on the orbit of any other planet. Significantly, due to a non-compliance of these two conditions, the status of planet was withdrawn from Pluto. Recently, a research was published in the Proceedings of National Academy of Science. It claims that the alpha and gamma variants of the virus are safe in white-tailed deer even after the spread of the coronavirus has subsided. It means to say that there is a danger of infection in humans. The study is based on samples collected till December 2021. Research says that in the past, a study has confirmed coronavirus in the white-tailed deer population of America and Canada. In such a situation, there is a possibility that these viruses can affect humans again. However, how these deer are getting affected by the coronavirus has not been disclosed. But researchers have attributed it to human waste. Scientists have said that the virus infection in humans can be caused by hunters and persons having contact with animals. For this, the research team collected and studied the tissues of deer killed by hunters in New York in 2020 and 2021. It was seen that in the year 2020, only 0.6% of the samples were confirmed to have the virus, while in the year 2021, the figures has increased to 21%. Surprisingly, alpha, gamma and delta variants of coronavirus were found to be present in these samples, although people infected with the delta variant were present in New York during this time. While the alpha and gamma variants were almost over, in such a situation, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention recommends that there is a need to take several basic precautions to reduce this infection. Recently, the European Commission presented the Green Deal Industrial Plan. The main objective of the scheme is to reduce the red tapeism present in the industrial sector. Along with this, subsidy has to be provided on a larger scale. Significantly, the Green Deal Plan is an important initiative towards achieving the EU's goals of making Europe the first climate-neutral continent by 2050 and reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 55% by 2030 compared to 1990. This step of the European Union has been taken only a few months after the announcement of the Inflation Reduction Act of the United States. This includes billions of dollars in tax cuts to boost US manufacturing industries, as well as clean energy and climate change programs. 4 types of initiatives are included under the Green Deal Industrial Plan. Under the first, the simplified regulatory framework will be established. Under this, the European Union wants to prepare a Net Zero Industry Act. Through this, the existing rules in the industrial sector will be simplified, as well as the issuance of permits for green projects such as renewable energy generation, carbon capture and renewable hydrogen production will also be expedited. The second initiative is to ensure faster access to financial resources. Under this, Investment and financing will be accelerated for clean technology production in Europe. Under the third initiative to promote skills, Net Zero Industry Academies will be set up, which will promote upskilling and reskilling programs in industries. The European Commission also believes that 30 to 40% of existing jobs are likely to be affected due to green change. Therefore, the Green Deal industrial scheme is also focused on developing the skills required for high-paying and good-quality jobs. Under the fourth initiative, the trade network of the European Union will be reformed. Through this engagement with EU partners will be strengthened under the principle of global cooperation, fair competition and open trade. Recently, India, France and the United Arab Emirates have taken initiatives to work together in various fields. This initiative includes the conservation of biodiversity, cooperation in the development of nuclear and solar energy, as well as working together in the field of health. It is noteworthy that this partnership was proposed for the first time during the meeting of the United Nations General Assembly held in New York in the year 2022. These countries will act as a common platform to promote the design and execution of collaborative projects in the field of solar and nuclear energy. They will try to conserve biodiversity in the Indian Ocean region. Along with this, the three countries have also agreed to work together in defense sector, combat infectious disease, and promote cooperation in global health organizations such as the World Health Organization, Gavi Vaccine Alliance, Global Fund. Apart from this, the three countries will also try to establish strong cooperation in the direction of implementing the One Health approach. Other aspects of cooperation include the development of local capabilities in innovation and production in the field of biomedicals in developing countries. The three countries have also agreed to expand their cooperation through initiatives such as the Mangrove Alliance for Climate, led by the United Arab Emirates, and the Indo-Pacific Parks Partnership, led by India and France. Significantly, India already has many bilateral relations with France and the UAE. India and France are making joint efforts to develop the International Solar Alliance. Along with this, France has also agreed to be a part of India's Venus mission scheduled for the year 2025. India and UAE are members of the I2U2 grouping. Also, the two countries signed a comprehensive economic partnership agreement with the aim of taking bilateral trade to $100 billion within 5 years. Apart from this, India and the UAE are moving towards promoting non-oil trade in rupees. This is expected to give a boost to the internationalization of the Indian rupee. Significantly, the UAE has also been India's second largest export destination in the year 2021-22. The Paris Club has come forward to help Sri Lanka overcome the financial crises. The club has assured the IMF that it will contribute to the $2.9 billion bailout package to Sri Lanka through the IMF. Significantly, Sri Lanka is facing severe economic crises since last year and is burdened with a huge international debt. Sri Lanka also faced popular uprisings due to the growing economic crises in the country. If we talk about financial debt on Sri Lanka, then China, Japan and India are its biggest bilateral creditors. China's debt is 52% of its debt, Japan's 19.5% and India's 12%. This initiative of the Paris Club is going to give a lot of relief to Sri Lanka because Japan, the second largest lender, is a member of this club. The Paris Club was established in the year 1956 to solve the debt problem for developing and emerging countries. Its secretariat is in Paris. It was established in a conference held in Paris to rescue Argentina from global financial debt. This club also includes 22 member countries of the OECD, that is, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. The Paris Club countries formerly dominated bilateral lending, but over the past 2 decades, China has emerged as the largest bilateral lender in the world. Due to this, the importance of this club has decreased a bit. Since its inception, the Paris Club has signed 478 agreements with 102 different borrower countries. $614 billion in debt has been repaid under this agreement. Recently, a Chinese spy balloon was seen flying in the western US state of Montana. Due to this, the flight of planes had to be stopped in this area. Apart from this, the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken's visit to China has been postponed. This incident is being considered as a major setback in the Sino-US relations. After this incident, the questions are being asked: what is the spy balloon and what does international law say about Chinese spy balloons and America's response? Spy balloon is actually a gas-filled balloon which takes pictures of different parts, buildings, classified places, intelligence places while looking towards the ground. During the Cold War, the US used these spy balloons to gather intelligence on the Soviet Union and China. In international law, the space above the particular national territory is called airspace, which doesn't include outer space. It has been declared free under the Outer Space Treaty of 1967, but the treaty doesn't define the altitude of the outer space launch. Under international law, every country has complete and exclusive sovereignty over the airspace above its territory. But the upper limit of sovereign airspace is not clearly defined in the international law. Generally, it extends to the maximum altitude at which commercial and military aircraft fly, which is about 13.7 kilometers, and supersonic jets fly above 18 kilometers. Under the 1944 Chicago Convention on International Civil Aviation, permission is required to enter a country's airspace. As such, the International Civil Aviation Organization sets an additional layer of regulation on the use of airspace, including hot air balloons. But it doesn't regulate military activities. The US also has its own Air Defense Identification Zone, a legacy of the Cold War. It requires all aircrafts entering US airspace to identify themselves. Let us now look at the 5 questions based on the bulletin.
Questions for this series are: first question is, consider the following statements. 1. Recently, WTO has released a global report on neglected tropical diseases. 2. According to the report, 16 countries account for nearly 80% of the global neglected tropical disease. 3. World Neglected Tropical Disease Day is observed annually on 30 January. Which of the above statement or statements is or are correct? 1 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, or all of the above? Next question is, consider the following statements with reference to NISAR satellite. 1. It is jointly developed by NASA and ISRO. 2. Its full name is NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar. 3. It is an Earth observation satellite. Which of the above statements are correct? 1 and 3 only, 2 and 4 only, 1, 2 and 3 only, or none of the above? Next question is, consider the following statements regarding Green Deal Industrial Plan. 1. This is a significant step towards reducing the EU's greenhouse gas emissions by 55% by 2050. 2. The main objective of this scheme is to reduce the red tapeism present in the industrial sector. Which of the above statement or statements is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or none of the above? Next question is, consider the following statements related to Paris Club. 1. The Paris Club was established in the year 1956. 2. Its secretariat is in Paris. 3. It was established to rescue Argentina from global financial debt. Which of the above statements are correct? 1 and 3 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 2 only, or all of the above? Last question is, what is the name of the planet recently discovered by astronomers? Wolf 1069b, Alpha 1069b, Alpha 1069c, or none of the above? Recently, information about e-courts was shared in reply to an unstarred question in the Lok Sabha. Let us tell you that the government has launched the e-courts integrated mission mode project with the aim of easy access to justice using technology. The e-courts project is being implemented in collaboration with the E-Committee, Supreme Court of India and the Department of Justice. The first phase of the project was implemented during 2011 to 2015. In this sequence, the second phase of the project started in 2015, under which 18,735 district and subordinate codes have been computerized. Recently, WHO released a new report about NT, that is neglected tropical disease. According to this report, this disease affects the poor countries of the world more. Such countries have inadequate water security as well as poor standards of sanitation and health care for citizens. It is a group of 20 diseases mainly prevalent in tropical regions. The disease is caused by various pathogenic agents including viruses, bacteria, parasites, fungi, and toxins. World NDT Day is celebrated every year on 30 January to make people aware of this disease. Recently, Indian Army conducted joint training exercise 3 Shakti Prahar in West Bengal. The exercise was conducted at Teesta Field Firing Range. Its purpose was to prepare the firepower of the Indian Armed Forces and CAPFs for an integrated battle. The latest generation fighter aircraft, helicopters, tanks, combat vehicles, medium and field artillery, guns, mortars, and various new generation weapons and equipment were displayed in the exercise. It also saw the participation of indigenous weapons and equipment made under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. Recently, the Ministry of Education has started a new initiative, Yuva Sangam, under Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat. It aims to strengthen people-to-people ties and enhance mutual understanding and coordination among the youth of the Northeast and other states. It will be taken forward in collaboration with various ministries and departments such as Culture, Tourism, Railways, Information and Broadcasting, Youth Affairs and Sports, Home, Department of Development of Northeastern Region and IRCTC. About 1,000 youth will participate in the pilot project of Yuva Sangam. This initiative will provide a multidimensional experience in 4 broad areas of tourism, tradition, progress and connectivity. Recently, 2 holy Shaligram stones weighing 31 ton and 15 ton were brought to Ayodhya in Uttar Pradesh. These stones will be used for making idols of Lord Ram and Janki. The Shaligram stone is described in anthropologist Holly Walter's book Shaligram Pilgrimage in the Nepal Himalayas. Actually, Shaligram stones are fossils of ammonite. Ammonites are a type of mollusk that existed between 400 million and 65 million years ago. This stone is mostly found in Nepal on the banks of the Kali Gandaki River, a tributary of the Gandaki River. Recently, the Geological Survey of India has discovered lithium reserves in Riyasi district of Jammu and Kashmir. This is the first lithium deposit found in the country. The discovered reserves are estimated to be about 5.9 million tons. Apart from this, the Geological Survey of India has also discovered the presence of gold deposits here. According to experts, this reserve can prove to be very beneficial for the country strategically. UP Global Investors Summit 2023 started recently. The 2-day event was inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, while President Draupadi Murmu will be the chief guest at the closing ceremony on February 12. There is a possibility of investment of more than 30 lakh crores through this program. This will not only speed up the rate of economic development of Uttar Pradesh, but will also help in realizing the dreams of the youth by creating employment on a large scale. Recently, the Digital Payments Festival campaign was launched. It is a comprehensive campaign launched with the aim of promoting digital payments across the country. This campaign will be organized from 9 February to 9 October 2023. During the inaugural event, Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav also shared his vision of full rollout of digital credit system and directed NPCI to move ahead in this direction. In addition, DigiDhan Awards were also presented to top-performing banks, bankers and fintech companies in various categories in the field of digital payments.